It is so powerful, you will never lose another listing presentation again. Fair enough? So yesterday we talked about tenant rep. So now I'm working the other side of the street. So now I'm working the landlord side. And Eric and I kind of mixed it up a little bit yesterday, and I love it. And Jordan and I and Lawrence were at dinner last night, and I said, your pushback on me really makes the class more enjoyable for everyone. So, Eric says to me, but Mike, I don't think your model takes into consideration what's going on in the marketplace. And he gave me an opportunity to defend that, in fact, I'm more concerned about my tenant than I am the marketplace. And so yesterday I was on the tenant rep side. Well, today we're going to be on the landlord side. Our job is to create value. So we're going to give you a best practice. I want you to imagine that I'm meeting with a landlord. Let's go back to our old friend Run Clear, and we're going to talk about this again tomorrow when we get into presentations. And I don't know if you recall, but I said, what is the single most important category of all the categories when we're doing needs analysis? And before I even give you a chance to answer the question, I'm still amazed, I said this yesterday, of how shallow we are when we interview the client, that we really have very little information. So we're doing a needs analysis. It's an asset manager that owns a property. They've decided they're going to change listing agents. They're going to have a bake-off. They're going to have 3 different firms come in. You want this assignment. This assignment not only will be a fabulous listing, that they might also award property management along with it. And if they really get comfortable with you, once you get this building to 95%, they want to take advantage of this crazy marketplace we're in and then turn it into an investment sale. This is a dream opportunity, right? You're going to get leasing commissions, property management fees, and then you're going to get a capital markets commission, maybe 24 months out. You want this assignment. You're meeting with the asset manager. We're going to talk about what we call needs analysis webinars. I do not do conference calls any longer. If, let's say, Brad calls me up and says, Mike, I'm thinking about you coming in and working with our office, and I want to talk about what kind of strategies we could address, and I want to talk about our unique requirements, I say, Brad, I'd recommend we do a needs analysis webinar. Well, he wouldn't ask me, but most of his counterparts would say, what the heck's that? I said, Brad, that's nothing more than I'm going to send you a link from either GoToMeeting or Microsoft, and we're going to whiteboard what we talk about. So Brad says, yeah, let's do this needs analysis webinar. So I sent him a link, and there's a whiteboard. I said, Brad, tell me, the skills that you would like to make sure your brokers have, or share with me what's important to you. And he starts telling me, and Jana, who's very good at typing in our office, is typing the stuff up as fast as Brad and his team can share it with us. And here it's all up on the whiteboard. He's in California, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'll say, Brad, what a fabulous list. Now what I'd like you to do is tell me in priority 1, 2, 3, and 4 what's most important to you. So he looks at this list and he says, well, that's important. And so we put a 1 next to that, and that's second most important. So now we have a compass heading of what he wants us to do when we show up on site. I'm interviewing an asset manager who is going to interview 3 different firms. I do not have a casual phone conversation with him or her and then prepare a major listing presentation. In all cases, we offer a needs analysis webinar. They've never said no, because rarely have they ever been asked to do one. Once they experience it and you facilitate what they've shared with you is most important, every time just before you hang up, guess what the prospect says to you? What do you think they say? Just before you hang up, we have a copy of this whiteboard? That's what they ask you. You want to know why? You're the first practitioner to facilitate a professional meeting. If you do it by straight old conference call, they don't remember what they said. And if I came back and said, well, what you've just told me the last 20 minutes, what's most important? They'll say, hey, oh. So now they're trying to rethink what they said to you. If it's all whiteboarded, there it is. So I'm interviewing this asset manager, and I ask her, share with me the 3 to 4 most important objectives that you have as it relates to awarding this listing. And she says, we want to get the occupancy to 92% by the end of the year. We want to get to $710,000 of annualized NOI. we want creditworthy tenants, and we want leases of at least 5 years. What she really said was we want to increase our income. They all say that. Most of them say it. You want to know the single biggest mistake in listing presentations? Is the broker failing to address the effect the leasing is going to have on NOI. That's the reason they want to lease space. They want more NOI. And if I look at 100 listing presentations on multi-tenanted office buildings, shopping centers, and industrial properties, there's only one thing that's missing. The effect your leasing is going to have on the NOI. And here's one of the real mysteries. Many of you do not even know what is the existing annualized NOI today, much less what they have budgeted for the NOI come 12/31. I mean, to me, it's just remarkable. And what's even more frustrating, because no one looks at more listing presentations than I do, you're spending all your time talking about your experience and your platform and what you did back in 1993. They don't care. And what particularly upsets them is you don't know when you come to present what's most important to them. And that's why you do this off-the-shelf boilerplate presentation that says executive summary, and I'll be all over this tomorrow morning, where you fail to address what's most important to them. She is now giving me the compass heading. I want to get this property to 92%. They said in the interview, we want to grow the income. I came back and said, which one's most important? They came back and said the NOI. And one of my absolute favorite questions in preparation of a listing presentation is, what have you budgeted for annualized NOI come year end? They'll tell you every time. They're not going to say, oh, we're not going to tell you. They'll tell you. They know. That's their target. It's one of the single most important targets that they have. So they'll say 710,000. Now guess what? I have a piece of valuable information that my competitor does not have. What else do you want? We want creditworthy tenants. Why? I know it's obvious, but why do you want creditworthy tenants? Because we're thinking about refinancing. Or we're thinking about perhaps selling the property once you get it to 92%. And we think with a creditworthy rent roll, the property will be more valuable. Well, I want to know that. I want to include those comments in my listing presentations. And we want lease terms of at least 5 years.